Did they walk and then move? Who's registered? You guys, has everybody registered when they're walking? Everybody that's in this group, if you have not put your name down on the list that says I walked, we cannot give $1 for you because we don't know you were here. So make sure and put your name down on a registration sheet over here. If you have not already registered, right over here by this tree. So if you have not already put your name down, please come this direction and get in line to put your name down. And we will finish up when everybody else is here. We see shoes in here. Everybody who has not took their shoes off.
I just grabbed one only.
Well, as I said to group number 1, congratulations to everyone. You have just completed your 1 mile barefoot walk. Now, to echo what Taylor said earlier, this walk is not necessarily about whether or not someone sees you walking down the street and wonders what you're doing. This walk is about you. This walk is about walking in someone else's shoes, or lack thereof. When you're walking a mile barefoot, you start to realize how amazing it is that you have shoes to put on your feet, and how difficult life would be without it. Yes, you might build up calluses, but can you imagine what happens if your feet get cut? Can you imagine if you're living in a life without shoes? Can you imagine what it's like to live on less than $1 a day? One of the main reasons why we are donating $1 for everyone is because we are talking about people who are living on less than $1 a day. That dollar is going to one of the 5 causes that we've set up with this Take the Walk campaign. Drilling wells, building schools, providing shoes, providing medicine and healthcare access. And you guys are a huge part of making that happen. Every single, it only takes 40 people, for example, to save the life of an unborn child. Okay, 40 people walking today, and there are more than 40 people here. So that alone, you guys have the capacity today with just this 1 mile to save someone's life.
So the reason he's saying 40 people is the first place we went. And by the way, you guys are really badass, all right? No, I mean, look, we get to travel and see all kinds of places, and it is our pleasure to get to not only stand on stage and sing, but to actually get to do this with you. So thanks for coming early and doing this and burning your feet. Because I know it's rough, because we do it, okay?
Yeah. We wouldn't ask you to do anything we would not do ourselves.
But when the first place we went in Africa was a hospital in sub-Saharan Africa, okay? A group of doctors set up shop to do research that no one was doing on the transmission of AIDS between mother to child specifically. Because one of the huge issues, you talk about our generation, how is our history going to judge this time period? HIV/AIDS and how it's impacted millions of people. And we're not making moral judgments. We're talking about kids born with a disease, right? And what happens when you're born with HIV, your immune system is completely destroyed, and you are going to die young, very young, if you don't have access to any other medicine. This little research hospital started off literally in the size of a closet. This little research hospital started in a room the size of a closet, okay? They were the only people that wanted to take the time. They weren't talking about the government's not giving enough money to this or that, or the fact that the debates about how to raise money, or whether HIV/AIDS was real or not. These are a couple of women and a male doctor as well, that got in there and said, we need to figure out how to research this issue. Young women that get HIV and then transmit it to the next generation. So they began at this tiny little hospital and have grown into the largest research hospital dedicated to antiretroviral drugs, which are the drugs that you need to prevent transmission. The work they do, the hospital that we visited, we saw these women that had gone from having no support to having presidents and people all over the world come and sit and talk with them, and they changed the game. They changed the game. A doctor named Glenda Gray, you should read about her. She's unbelievable. But she's a rock star of medicine, not because she is famous for it, but because she does what nobody else wanted to do. Okay? When we saw that, what we saw was she had developed a program that was 35 cent a day drug that you could take for a month. And if you're a young pregnant woman that has HIV, you take that 35 cent a day drug for a month, you are 98% likely not to transmit that disease. Okay? Think about how powerful that is. And that started by her setting up, and everybody said, why are you in Africa doing this job? Why are you working on this? Why are you taking the time? No one had her back, okay? But now, years later, globally, one of the things that is changing the game is the development of this medicine that gets young women to not transmit the virus onto the next generation.
Because ultimately you're saving the next generation's life. That's the big, I mean, one choice or another, but next thing you know, the next generation is literally having a death sentence. And so I'll just pick it. So the point being that you guys are also in some form or another here today in that same kind of way, putting your feet to the ground and saying, you know what, whether or not I have the support or not, whether or not there's a million zillion people doing it or not, I'm coming, I'm taking my shoes off, and I'm doing something about it. It just takes one person to make a difference, and you guys can be those people. And whether or not it is in your own community or whether it is in Africa or whatever it is, I hope that one thing, if nothing else, I hope that you walk away from this walk feeling like you can do something that you didn't think you could do yesterday. And I hope that those things are things that are positively going to affect the world around you and your family and hopefully, your own community and the rest of the world, all at once. So sorry for battling on. I'm kind of making an ass of myself. But I really, really appreciate the fact that you guys are willing to show up early and walk with us. It is an enormous, enormous thing. Not everybody does this. And so we want to thank you guys for doing it.
Before we wrap up, if you didn't register your walk, has our walk box found its way back to the front door?
Right here. Put the table down.
Okay, so there's a piece of paper right here. Our awesome volunteers have made sure that it's here at the end. Put your name down and register that you were here, okay? Put your name down and check off a box that says what cause you want your walk to go to. If you haven't already registered, make it towards clean water, to drill a well, to buy that medicine, or to build a school. These are things that are going to happen because you did this, okay? They're going to happen because you walked. It wasn't a distant walk down the streets of the hot streets. It was actually you were getting something done. And then you know what? The thing that hopefully can happen next is what we've already seen some people mention before. You guys can go to the table website. You can plan an event. You can be 2 people. It can be 5 people. It can be 1,000 people. And walk down the streets again. And yes, this is a gathering point that can spark a huge amount of other things happening. And we will be your sponsor. Okay, we will give the first dollar. And what we hope is, after that first dollar is given, that you will go, you know what? I'm going to give $5, or I'm going to give $20, or I'm going to tell 5 people, or I'm going to organize an event, because you can see the reality and the impact of what can get done when you just decide, you know what, I'm going to show up. I'm going to put myself in this situation. I'm going to get this done. And it's okay if you kind of feel like, yeah, I'm kind of awesome. You should. You should feel good about it. You should claim it, and you should embrace it, and you should be the one that gets people turning their heads going, what is going on over here? Or tell me more about what you're doing. Be the leader. Be the first, because you guys already are. You know, you're already in that small minority that is actually jumping out front and walking. So make sure to register. That's the moral of the story right here. Make sure to register so we can donate, and we'll see you guys inside for the show. All right?
And since you did the walk, make some noise. Say, I took the walk!
I took the walk!
That was really good. One more time. I took the walk!
I took the walk!
Woo! All right. Thank you guys so much. Good luck with your toes and your feet.
Hey, one more time. If you're barefoot, show me your shoes. Show me your shoes.